What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. You wouldn't want me to do your taxes. I'm not a particular financial whiz, right? And this is not one of my gifts. But even I can tell you that this isn't what a healthy company is supposed to look like that's publicly traded, especially not a legacy company. This is what the Disney stock ticker looks like. And this stock ticker looks really bad given the fact that if you invested $100 in Disney 5 years ago, you would expect that investment to go up a little bit. The market's return on average 7 to 8%. So what would your $100 look like 5 years later? Well, it would be $70 based on recent trends for Disney. So you've lost a ton of money by investing in Disney. That's always a bad thing, right? It always leads to panic inside of companies that behave like this because, well, you have a fiduciary obligation to your shareholders. And when you break those obligations, there could be major legal consequences. There can be class action lawsuits. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people own Disney stock. And so when it tanks, you're affecting a lot of people's personal investment. Have you committed fraud? Again, have you violated your fiduciary obligation to your shareholders? These are really big things. And they come at inflection points. You making decisions for your company that negatively affects the outcome, growth, prospects of said company. You are publicly traded after all. And so there is a shocking revelation in Disney's SEC filing, which of course you are required to file with the Securities and Exchange Commission, that is jaw-dropping. I mean, next level stunning. Boys, we've won in our battle against Walt Disney and against the corporate cancerous creep of wokeism and the message. Let's dive in. Disney forced to make major admission in damning SEC filing. What is this about? I mean, this is pretty interesting here. The filing effectively is something that reflects the state of the company. And we'll jump over here to the actual filing itself. What you're looking at here is the actual filing. It has hundreds of pages, right? I'm talking about Disney's business model, their revenue, the sales, the parks, all of their assets. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. Bunches of numbers, bunches of quotas. You glaze over looking at this stuff. Especially if you're someone like me, who's not a particularly financially minded or financial genius. But here, ladies and gentlemen, gets at the root of the issue, the true core of the issue. In the filing about the fiscal disaster that Disney has had over the last couple of months, they say something absolutely stunning. I'm going to read to you the full quote from the House of Mouse on Fire. Here we go. We face a risk relating to misalignment with the public consumer tastes and preferences for entertainment, travel, and consumer products. What this means is that they have engaged in ideological extremism and have isolated parents who simply want family-friendly entertainment for their children and not sexual identity politics, critical race theory, critical gender theory shoved into the faces of our children. In an implied nod to, Smith writes, the author here in the Hill, Jonathan Turley, one of our favorites, the success of our business depends on our ability to consistently create compelling content. Well, yes, exactly. So this is Disney admitting that the only role of the company is to continue to get people to watch their movies and their content. You are a media company, after all. As somebody who is in charge of a media company, I know this. Generally, our revenues and profitability are adversely impacted when our entertainment offerings and products, as well as our methods to make offerings and products available to consumers, do not achieve sufficient consumer acceptance. Well, what does that mean? It means we have absolutely shit the bed when it comes to making content that aligns with Disney customers. Walt Disney himself, an ardent patriot, a Christian, a family man with a beautiful family Walt Disney had, a father, a husband, a man who wished to create family-friendly content. That's why people went to Disney. That's why people consumed Disney products. And all throughout my life, I'm 37 years old, there's nothing wrong with The Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Nothing wrong with these. Even the semi-modern Disney takes, and then the Pixar, Toy Story, there's really nothing wrong with these original concepts. The last 20 years, everything got sideways with the message, where Disney decided to be taken over by the small minority of activists, and they began to insert their own agendas, using the corpse of the Walt Disney companies to push politics onto little children. People didn't like that. That's what that line means. Here we go. Further, consumers' perception of our position on matters of public interest, read our political activism, including our efforts to achieve certain environmental and social goals, often differ widely and presents risks to our reputation and brands. This is Disney admitting defeat in Florida, where they're still fighting with Ron DeSantis over who has the right to teach their children outside of absolute and total indoctrination by our school system. The Parental Rights and Education Bill, which Disney is totally against, is effectively parents have the right over their children's educations, and you are not to indoctrinate them in your sick and perverted sexual ideologies and or race hatred. The end. That's it. That is literally a core tenet of just being a human being. There are actual laws on the books against these kind of things when it comes to children. And people go to jail all the time when it comes to sexual explicit and exploitation of children. They should. These people are demons. Disney is against that for some reason. And, parents are starting to take notice. And Disney is saying here in their SEC filings, that's bad for our reputation and our brands. Disney and other companies have previously ignored consumer backlash over corporate campaigns, such as Disney's opposition to Florida's parental rights and education law. Corporate officials once avoided political controversies and focused on selling their products and services rather than viewpoints. Disney reported it lost billions of dollars on just 4 of its recent woke movie flops, and productions denounced critics as pushing political agendas and storylines. Yet until now, the company has continued to roll out underperforming movies and revenue has dropped. What's more, Disney stars persist in bad-mouthing its fabled storylines and undermining its new productions. The company admits that it has continued to slide impressions of its viewership by 14%. For shareholders, it seems that counterintuitive to corporate executives would trade profits for political social agendas. Yeah. This is really an important point. And now it's reached its conclusion here in its actual SEC filing. What a important and valuable line, ladies and gentlemen. We face risk relating to mismanagement of public consumer tastes with preference for entertainment, travel, consumer products. There we go. Our businesses create entertainment, travel, and consumer products whose success depends substantially on consumer tastes and preferences to change, often in unpredictable ways. Or maybe you could just create family content because you are a family entertainment company and ignore the wild deviations into politics, which of course has led you to billion-dollar losses across woke movies. Breitbart estimates that Disney will face reportedly $750 million losses across 13 movies that failed to meet their studio budgets this year. Many of these titles garnered headlines of controversial diversity castings or progress narratives, including gay and non-binary characters, which of course Disney has done. Disney openly and wantonly pushes the agenda inside of their movies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what happened when a Disney executive producer bragged on camera that she is adding queerness wherever she could and admits to her not-so-secret gay agenda. LaToya Raveneau, executive producer for Disney's television animation, talks about the studio's treatments of her progressive ideas that she has inserted into children's entertainment. Wow. In my little pocket of proud family Disney TV, the showrunners were super welcoming to my not-so-secret gay agenda, she said. I could add queerness. No one would stop me. No one was trying to stop me. I'll just have these two characters kiss, she says. Of course, the clip is available online. You can see it. You can listen to it yourself. These are the people that Disney is hiring in order to indoctrinate your children. And thankfully, thank God, it's all falling to pieces. And Disney is finally admitting failure. Failure in partnering with political ideas and political movements that are corrosive to the actual goal of the company. Where have I seen this before? Bud Light, Target, every brand that has decided to betray and spit in the face of its paying customers. Disney, of course, does this with its entertainment. That's why Disney has lost 300,000 U.S. subscribers for a second consecutive quarter following December price hike. They just announced another increase. Yikes. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney on track to have 4 of the 5 biggest box office flops ever. Indiana Jones, The Marvels. There's a new one out called Wish. Whatever the hell this is. Wish is the latest crack in the studio's once invincible armor. Yeah. Didn't even, like, none of these films will break even. So what does it say? What does this SEC filing say? Here's the actual SEC filing. Saying, effectively, we've won. Boys, are you ready? We've won. We are not proponents of cancel culture. We are proponents of culture. We wish for you to make entertainment that is good. That's all. We are sick of politics being shoved into our entertainment, and we are sick of you manipulating, retconning, and destroying legacy characters, which I think you've run out of virtually any character that Disney could possibly destroy. They've already committed cultural necrophilia on these characters, whether it be Indiana Jones, Luke Skywalker. Go down the list. We're done with that. You people are not creators, you're destroyers. And because you have no original ideas and no actual creative spark, you simply use your politics as a mask, a thin, weak, and cruel veneer to pantomime real creativity. And the mask has now slipped. And now it looks like your company is about to slip. And we look forward to continuing to report on the downfall of Disney. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy, Benny. Stay base. See you.